Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just so you know, Dean, I almost had you do it. Okay, I'd like a motion for the adoption of the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we move to report out of closed session. We have unanimously agreed to 2 new employees. First one being Debbie Mabry, a coordinator for special education. Debbie has served as a speech and language pathologist in our district since July 1, 2018, and as a principal at Fern Elementary from July 1, 2014 through June 30th, 2018. She previously served as an elementary principal at the Manhattan Unified School District, assistant principal and special education coordinator in the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District, and as a teacher in the El Segundo Unified School District, LA County of Education in Norwalk, La Mirada Unified School District. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Communicative Disorders at the University of Redlands in 1986, her Master of Arts in Communicative Disorders at San Diego State University in 1989, and her Master of Arts in Educational Administration at Loyola Marymount University in 2003. We'd like to congratulate Debbie. Welcome back.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve many families in Torrance Unified. I look forward to doing great stuff in special education. Thank you.
Also like to welcome Lars Nygren. Am I saying your name correctly? Nygren.
Yeah.
Coordinator of Intervention and Instruction. Lars come to us from the Redondo Beach School District, where he served as a principal of the Torrance Middle School from July 2008 through August 2018. He previously served as an assistant principal at Redondo Union High School from July 2007 through June 2008, as an assistant principal at Perez Middle School from July 2004 through June 2007, and as a teacher in the Redondo Beach Unified School District from August 2002 through June 2004, and in the Boulder Valley School District from August 2000 through June 2002. Lars received his Bachelor of Arts in History from the University of Colorado in 1999, his Master of Science and Educational Administration from National University of 2004, and his doctorate at the University of Southern California in 2009. We'd like to welcome Lars to our district.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of Torrance Unified School District. I look forward to working with everyone here, certificated, classified, and the students and parents. So thank you for having me here.
I know, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm originally from Colorado. I'm thinking, my God, you left for California? Moving right along, we are now with the recognition of the recognition portion 8.1, Rotary Clubs of Torrance, USC versus UCLA Tailgate Luncheon. Is this USC versus UCLA? Is that a big deal? I'm not really plugged into that, so.
Maybe.
Just a little.
Come on down.
Actually, Scott wants to sing the fight song, but I'd like to introduce the team as soon as Scott steps back. This is a partial of the team. We probably have 10 or 12 on this thing. Most of them have been in it for 8 to 10 years. This is the 10th year anniversary. David and Karen,
Come on.
you have to realize we have 3 brooms and 1 Trojan, but they have sworn me not to say anything about the 0 and 5 record. So, whoa! I want to thank the Torrance Unified School District from the first time we offered you a table, buying a table, being there. Also proud that all 4 high schools have their tables and their checks in, and we're just a few short on tables now, but the rest of the committee is out selling tables tonight. The speakers, you've all got flyers, and Mr. Scott here has small flyers for anybody else that's interested. It's going to be on November 6th at the Marriott at noon. For the SC types, Traveler comes inside the ballroom, the horse, and it's always an exciting time. The speaker for UCLA is Patrick Cowan, previous quarterback back in the day, and from SC is Jake Olson. If If you haven't seen any SC football games, it's pretty impressive. This kid's 100% blind from cancer, has written numerous books. He's a real cheerleader at heart, and they send him in. If it's like the score's not close, they put him in, he gets to snap the ball and then make a point after. So we got the speakers, we've got the room, we've got everything going. Thank you, Torrance Unified, for always backing the thing. Hope to see you all. And if you have businesses, you might put these up in your windows, be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those in the audience, this guy who is the USC speaker, he's blind and he's the long snapper. He's actually the center, and he snaps the ball for the punting and for the field goal. So it should be amazing to hear him speak.
Very good.
Did you say where the money's going?
I'm sorry, say, what's that?
I thought for 10 years, everybody, it goes, after all the
Oh, yeah,
events were
yeah,
put
I'll
together,
explain. Let me
is
explain.
it goes to all the Torrance high schools.
Yeah, there's 4 Torrance high schools, and it goes equally to the athletic departments, not necessarily to the football players. My son played football for 4 years at Torrance High, and, when he had to go out and buy something like shoes, this or that, whatever stuff, I mean, we're happy to pay for it, it's not a big deal. But there's some people that, are not as well off as my wife and I, and so this helps a lot of people that are, in a sense, financially marginal, and it makes them equal with the rest of all the other guys on the team and all the other sports as well. I mean, tennis, golf, I mean, everybody gets a share of the money, and that's why we really appreciate you. I've been involved with this thing since the very first day, and I sat up on the dais at the Doubletree with Frank Scotto. He was the mayor back then, and we talked about all of our programs, and it was just a wonderful thing, and I'm proud to be a part.
Takes 2 good Bruins to get him out of talking. Thank you very much, everybody. Fight on.
Thank you all for coming again. Thank you very much. Much to Scott's dismay, we're moving on to staff presentation and information. Report by our student representative.
Sorry. Hello, I'm the student representative from Torrance High School. So,
Name again, so people know.
Christopher Iguchi. So, first off, we had this past Wednesday our Start With Hello assembly. It was just a way to highlight the school safety by simply talking to others, trying to make everyone Torrance High School an all-inclusive campus. And then just this past Friday, we also had our Top 30 rally for the homecoming court. And this upcoming Wednesday, when we get back to school, we have our college and career day with a guest speaker talking about, for the seniors especially, like what they're going to do after high school and like plans for life. And we also have college reps coming to talk with the students. And then this Friday as well, we also have our Top 10 rally, which is also our homecoming court. And we have Spirit Week from the 15th to the 19th, just to get some kids started. It's our first Spirit Week of the year, so hopefully it goes well. And we have our homecoming on the 20th, so it's the Saturday after Spirit Week. And the theme is Tartars on Deck, so it's like a cruise theme. And we have our UCLA blood drive on the 24th of October. So if any of you guys want to donate, please talk to me after. We would love to have you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the good news student presentations from Towers Elementary and Madrone Middle School. I'll start with Dr. Kim.
Thank you, President Wormers. It's my pleasure to call up to the podium, who's already led us in the Pledge of Allegiance, our student leader from Towers Elementary, Charlotte Kieft. Please come on up. And I'm going to ask somebody to lower the mic.
She's got it.
She knows what she's doing.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Hello, I am Charlotte Kieft, and I am a student at Towers Elementary. We just had our student council elections, and I am honored to be the school president. Our motto this year is Together We Can Change Everything. There are so many exciting things happening at Towers right now. For example, thanks to the TEF, we just got a new science lab. In the science lab, we will be doing a lot of fun new investigations and will learn much more about science. Starting October 10th, Towers Timberwolves are looking forward to a Wolfpack Run Club. This is where on Monday and Wednesday mornings, the Towers Timberwolves go out and run to earn fun prizes and get their brains and bodies ready to learn. Also in October, we are having our Harvest Festival, which will have carnival games, food trucks, the famous cakewalk with teacher-baked treats, music, and more. Finally, our student council is sponsoring Socktober. From October 15th to October 26th, student council will be collecting new socks for children and people who need them. It's going to be a great fall at Towers Elementary. Thank you.
Dr. Dugal?
Thank you. I'd like to now call up Paige Howard from Madrone Middle School to come on and share some good news about Madrone. Also in attendance is Principal Jeff Nielsen and Assistant Principal Mrs. Tayo Balligan.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening. My name is Paige Hayward, and I'm in 8th grade at Madrone Middle School. We are about halfway through the first quarter, and so far, things are running very smoothly. Within this first month, we've had our first SAR, also known as a Student Achievement Rally, and we've also had a lunch concert, and we've had many other exciting activities coming up. Our first Achievement Rally was held in late September, and it was the first opportunity for new 6th graders to see how we hold our Achievement Rallies and how they were rewarded for surviving their first month of middle school. The new students seem to really be enjoying middle school, and they're having a really fun time. Everyone was participating in many of the games that were held, and they are always wearing their class colors and doing a great job of supporting school spirit. We also had a lunch concert that encouraged students to come out of their shell and spend the majority of lunch dancing and having fun with their friends. Like I said before, we have many exciting upcoming events. We are participating in the Skechers Peer-to-Peer Walk to help raise money for ASB. We also have a cookie dough fundraiser that helps raise money for the whole school. And the students who participate in the cookie dough fundraiser get multiple prizes and can play fun games at lunch. Band and choir is also holding a color run to help raise money for their elective. The event most students are excited for is our Spirit Week and School Dance, happening on the last week of October. Students are very excited for this event because it's the incoming 6th graders' very first Spirit Week and School Dance. And the returning students love to dress up differently on each day and learn spirit points for their grade level. Everyone's very excited for these upcoming events. The goals of the different events is to help give the students pride and to show them that school is serious, but it can also be fun too. Thank you.
Mrs. Reagans?
Yeah, I just wanted to take an opportunity, because I see him in the audience. Mr. Mike is here, who is a retired custodian from Towers. He was so attached to Towers, and Towers loves him so much that he came back to visit when he came for his reunion here. And welcome, Mr. Mike.
Thank you very much. It's good to see everybody.
Yeah. He has his own bench out in front of Towers, if you ever go see him. That's it.
Thank you. One of the things I really enjoy doing is at this point in the agenda, I like to tell anybody who doesn't want to stick it out to the end of the meeting, this is your chance to dash for the door. So I completely understand. Anybody's got homework, anybody wants to go home?
Stay or go, whichever you like.
I'm not telling anybody to leave. I'm not saying you have to go, but this is your chance.
Once again, go Bruins.
Okay, moving on to oral communications unscheduled hearings for non-agenda items. The Board of Education welcomes input from the public in order to discuss district business in an orderly manner for the privacy and safety of the speakers and to help staff respond more directly. The board policies require the public presentation of the board comply with certain procedures, including speakers to non-agenda items may address only items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Time allotted for such presentations is limited to 3 minutes. Total time allotted for public input on non-agenda items is limited to 30 minutes. A speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another. When addressing the board, speakers are requested to state their name, address the president from the podium, and adhere to the applicable time limits. Complaints against employees or students will normally be heard in closed session, and the district's complaint procedures should be followed before discussion with the board. The board may remove disruptive individuals and order the room cleared if necessary. Any person who willfully disturbs a public school meeting is guilty of a misdemeanor. Education Code 32210. I have a card from a Brandon and Terrell. And you guys are here to speak about Red Ribbon Week.
Good evening, President Wormers and board members, we want to appreciate you all for giving us the opportunity this evening to speak. My name is Terrell Sneed, and this is Brandon Silva. We work at Behavioral Health Services, and we service the Lomita and Torrance cities. We work in a lot of the schools, and we just try to do a lot of work promoting drug-free and alcohol living as well, and promote health and wellness in the communities. And one of the things that President Wormers just stated is that we wanted to announce Red Ribbon Week coming up, which is the dates of October 23rd to October 31st. We'll be holding a series of events and some educational things within the schools, including Madrone Middle School, West Torrance High School, as well as Torrance High School, and some other schools as well in the area. We will be back for the board meeting for October 22nd to give some more details if anyone is interested, but we did want you all to know and the community members to know that we are out there trying to, make our schools safer, promote, as I said, health and wellness, and make sure that our students and our youth are safe.
And as well, I would like to announce that on October 27th is the Saturday, we're going to be partnering up with Torrance PD for our prescription take-back event. So if there's any unused, unwanted medications, prescribed medications, you can bring them down to Torrance PD. No names, no questions asked, just bring your medications and we'll dispose of them properly. So come out, share it to everyone else. I know we all have some unused medications that are probably in the medicine cabinet. It's a great day to bring them all and dispose of them properly and get rid of these drugs in the Torrance community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for coming. Okay, discussion action items. Instruction to the public speakers wishing to address the board on agenda topics are permitted 3 minutes per topic. Total time granted for public input shall be limited to 30 minutes per topic. The Board of Education requires that public presentation to the board comply with certain procedures, including items 2 through 4 listed in oral communications. Number 11.2 is the approval of the excused absence of a Board of Education member. Can I get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor of the excused absence?
Aye.
Okay, 11.3, approval to renew Cisco Smartnet service agreement. Can I get a motion? A second?
I'll second that.
Gil Mara.
If you recall, 5 years ago, in 2013, the district upgraded its entire network at the cost of about $6.5 million. Several hundred pieces of new equipment were put in place, and it included the Smartnet agreement. So 5 years down the line, it's now expired. So I've gone through and selected the most key components of the network to protect, which is basically all the big fiber switches at each of the school sites, and upstairs the big Nexus 7000 up in the data center where all the fiber connections collapse back to. So this cost is to renew just those key components. We try to keep some spares for we call them edge switches out in the at the school site, so that we don't have to renew every piece of equipment. This is a prorated cost, so this will take us to June 30th of this year, and it'll be annual. So if we were to do this July 1st, the full annual cost is about $180,000 every year to keep the Smartnet agreement going. And it provides, like it says there, hardware replacement, software upgrades for the Cisco iOS. So, any questions?
Mrs. Reagans? No? Just so the audience understands, what's one of the most expensive switches you're faced with?
The one upstairs is probably about $80,000.
Just by itself, that's one switch.
The Nexus. It's like a little switch.
Not quite that kind of a switch.
Yeah, the ones at the school sites, the Catalyst 4500 sounds all fancy. It's either a 16-port or a 32-port fiber switch, depending on the size of your school. One of those is around $20,000, $25,000.
Very, very expensive
We
hardware.
have a nice network.
Mr. Steffen?
So this agreement protects us through all of our large things.
This year, and then I come back to you again July 1st of 2019 and we'll do the full year. It's just that it ended February of, and I want to line it up for Judy's sake. Makes things easier to keep the numbers straight. Otherwise, she has to post a contract against 2 different fiscal years, and I got my lesson from her.
Very good.
I got schooled.
Next for August 2021.
What was that?
Oh, it's 70 grand a year. When does it expire?
June 30th, 2019. Right.
Okay, the last line here says, right?
Oh, that's the CMAS contract. So we're doing it based off of the California Multiple Awards Schedule. So the CMAS contract that California has in place is what we're buying it against. Right.
This is Cisco Smartnet.
Right. And then I'm sure California will renew the CMAS after 2021, and we'll think about it then. Or we negotiate directly with
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to the approval of proposed board policy and board bylaws updates. Do we want to waive the first reading?
I make a motion to approve and waive the first reading.
We have a motion and a
Second reading.
second reading, I'm sorry. We have a motion, and you second that?
Yes, I do. I second the second.
So all those in favor? Aye. All right, we've moved on to the consent agenda. I have one item to pull off the consent agenda. Does anybody else have anything they want to pull off the consent agenda?
What's the number, Mr. Long?
13.5. Ms. Nolan's going to speak to us about 13.5, so. So I have a motion to approve all the consent agenda,
Except 13.
Except 13.5.
all the way through 19.10.
And I'll second that.
You got that, Shelley? All right, Nanette, please come and speak. Oh, we need to vote, yes, I'm sorry. Let's vote on everything but 13.5. All those in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve 13.5. Second?
I'll second that.
And now we get to listen to Ms. Nolan.
I'm going to do this filibuster style. I'm just kidding. So first of all, thank you so much for having me here tonight, and I want to thank you so much for putting together the resolution for us and supporting our efforts across Torrance for Red Ribbon Week. I also wanted just to make a quick reminder or plug that although, of course, this 1 week is really dedicated to talking about healthy lifestyle choices and living drug-free and alcohol-free, the truth is it's really an ongoing year-round endeavor, and that more than just telling students that they shouldn't do drugs or shouldn't drink alcohol, which is absolutely accurate. It's about giving them choices and giving them confidence and tools to make better decisions constantly. I think for most of us in the room who have parents or who are parents or have nieces or nephews or interface with children, we know that kids who are more successful and make better choices often have some things in common. Parents and guardians who are incredibly active in their lives, who are aware of their friends and the changes in their lifestyles, people who are, surrounding them at school with lots of good, who are good role models and are constantly feeding them great information just to make good decisions. I see it all the time in my own children who make really dumb mistakes sometimes, but I see by and large the friends who, don't have those factors in their lives and those who do, and it's worlds apart. So to anyone who's listening later on to this recording, I just want to remind you that kids need us, and they need us even more in middle school and high school. I know a lot of times we start kind of pulling away and giving them more chances for independence, but I kind of felt that it was the opposite, and I was surprised at how much kids listen and need our support. They're just facing really tricky things, and so I just want to thank you guys all for all of your efforts all year long, supporting the PTA and its efforts, and I appreciate everything that Jen and her team, BHS, do. I'm totally thrilled and privileged to live in a city that just loves and supports our children 100% all the time, so thank you.
Can I ask her a quick question?
Mrs. Reagans.
Before you leave, can you give us a little bit of information about what Torrance Council supports happening on our campuses during this week?
Yeah, so Torrance Council itself doesn't produce or host anything in particular, but all 30 of the units have their own kind of separate set of activities. For at the elementary level, maybe the message is less overt about drugs and alcohol and more about exercise and healthy activities and, playing sports and getting outside and just giving them lots of great suggestions. Some schools may do things around like Wacky Socks Day and signing pledges. I know like Almer Suchi's office offers certificates, and some schools, maybe this is more appropriate at the middle school level, many of our PTAs will actually bring speakers to the school. They may have assemblies that are geared more at making healthy decisions and talking about drug and alcohol prevention. And again, the focus being really on the positive, which is healthy lifestyles. And at the high school, actually, PTAs support the efforts of largely the ASBs, the Association of the Student Bodies. They do a ton of work. I don't know how those students do it, and still are amazing, just amazing students all around. So a lot of the ASB students will usually work in concert with the PTAs, and they'll decorate schools as kind of a visual representation. And I think the discussions at the high school may vary from campus to campus depending on what the administrator and the teachers and the students feel is necessary. So it's kind of a wide gamut, but that's the long and short of it.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you all for all your hard work in that arena. You don't get enough credit, so thank you, everybody.
Just one person, thank you.
All right, we've now moved on to the information section. There's a lot of information on the board calendar. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, we need to vote on 13.5. All those in favor? Aye. Now, we've moved on to the information section of our calendar. There's a lot of information in the board calendar online, and revisions to administrative regulations and exhibits are also online. No? Yes? Yes. Yes, I thought so. Comments from members of the Board of Education. I'll lead off with SoCal Rock and then circle back around on something else I want to comment on. The board is taking a look at the joint powers agreement from SoCal Rock and coming up with some changes that they'd like to see incorporated in that agreement. It's an effort to continue to keep SoCal Rock moving forward down the field. It's a bit of a challenge, but we're making progress. Mr. Steffen, any comments? No. Mrs. Reagans?
Sorry. Yes, actually, I have a few different things. One, I wanted to invite all of you, as well as the community, to the Fall for Wellness Fair that will be happening on Saturday, October 13th in the Torrance High School field, literally directly across the street from here. Parking will be here, actually, at this parking lot by the Family Welcome Center. But there will be healthy food trucks, there will be a variety of giveaways and opportunity drawings and healthy activities and information, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope folks will come. It's intended for families and/or anybody else who wants to come and join us for, again, a fall wellness festival.
And Ms. Reagans, what time does that start?
Thank you, sir. It begins actually at 11 a.m. and runs until 2 p.m. Thank you for asking.
I'm coming just to see what a healthy food truck looks like.
Yes. Well,
that's kind of an oxymoron if there ever was one.
They were difficult to find, but they were able to find some, and hopefully they will be here. So,
very good.
And I also wanted to identify some classified employees for their anniversary increments that they achieved this time on the board, and actually it's a bunch of them because I guess in the fall we tend to have new folks come on board. So for these folks who have 10 years of accredited service, there is Amy Blom, Gwendolyn McIntyre, Deborah Overby, Karen Cisneros, Catherine Tansky. All of those folks have been serving us in a variety of capacities for 10 years. Thank you for doing that. For 15 years of eligible service, we have Lorraine Atkins. Wow, Lori's been around for 15 years now. Victoria Garcia and Yuka Kikawa Gabo. And those folks are very ably, I can speak from personal experience, serving our students in many ways. And then 20 years of accredited service. These folks have been around a really long time. Kimberly Burlingame, Carla Gonzalez, Thana Makar, I believe, Cynthia Ozejo, and Peter Paley. And last but not least, I have a 25-year anniversary to identify here, and that is Terry Stanfield at South. She's been with us for a very long time and is really somebody that we count on seeing when we go down there. So thank you, folks, for serving our students and being with Torrance Unified. We appreciate it. And that's it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Deutsch.
I just wanted to thank you all, especially Dr. Crumpy, regarding the Start With Hello assemblies. I want to thank you for the proactivity and the fact that the message that's being delivered about creating an inclusive and warm environment around the campuses, just to me is great that we're doing this. I know that there's other school districts that are doing it as well. And I just out of curiosity, how have the assemblies been received and what's the next step?
Thank you, Mrs. Deutsch. We too are really excited with, I think, the excitement that many of our schools have alluded. I mean, we heard from our student speaker tonight, and as we conclude, I think the final assembly is this week at West High School. Then the conversation of how we continue this message will continue. One of the requirements when we signed the commitment to the Sandy Hook Promise was that each school had a club, either a new club that was formed or an established club that took on the work of the mission and vision of the Sandy Hook Promise folk, and so they will continue that, but as well as we will be having discussions at the district level. We just wanted to wait until the last school's finished, but this is just the first piece of an entire process. And so as we move forward, we have our elementary counselors, the new additions too, that are going to be working on how to modify the message down to the elementary level. And then the next step is also there's training for key staff on suicide prevention, and then in the new year there will be a why am I just losing my another set of assemblies at all of our with see something, say something, and so that's the next step of the Sandy Hook Promise as we move forward.
Great, thank you, Dr. Crumpy.
Dr. Stowe, back on September 11, 2018, you sent us an email talking about the fact that the properties being sold at Rolling Hills by the R8CC development we would receive checks for $61,946.90. There are 113 properties. There's a urban legend about Humphrey Bogart getting a contract for like $1.8 million and broken into 4 checks or whatever, and he realized, he did the math, and he realized he was 75 cents short. And his attorney gave him 75 cents and said, shut up. I did the math, and we're 30 cents short, so I'm giving you 30 cents, okay? So everyone in the community understands, we don't get a $7 million check, we get $61,000 at a time. This came up recently, and I've been confronted by a lot of different parents about it. So I wanted to make certain that we reiterate that Daily Breeze article is just a tad confusing, and we're not going to get one lump sum of $7 million, we get them in $61,000 chunks. So, and this 30 cents is there for you. You can put that on your desk and hang on to that.
Is it 30 cents per property? Or
No, 30 cents total. We're short by 30 cents.
I will give it to Judy Chai.
You can do that. That'll confuse the hell out of Judy Chai.
Throw her off a little.
Probably, if I know Judy, she would have done the math by now.
She's already called the developer.
I'm sure she has. Okay, could I get a motion for adjournment?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.